Howdy y'all, welcome to Down Home Gaming with Andrew. In this episode we'll be taking a look at Tombstone City for the TI-99 4A. In this multi-directional 1981 shooter, you pilot a schooner trying to destroy aliens that apparently be bred from mated pairs of saguaro cacti. The gameplay is fairly straightforward, but the desert theme concept was somewhat novel at a time of endless space shooters. Although I had this on my TI computer as a kid, I am playing it on emulator for this video as my TI computer is put away in storage. Alright, so let's take a look. This is the startup screen for the TI-99 4A. Every TI computer comes with BASIC built in. We're going to pick the game that's inserted into the TI, which is Tombstone City, which again, this is an emulated version. The TI-99 4A was one of the first 16-bit systems out there, so it had somewhat advanced graphics and sound capabilities for its time. We're going to go ahead and pick the easiest version of the game. That's difficult enough. It gets really fast at higher levels. Start out in the center of those squares. That's a safe area where the aliens can't penetrate. The game doesn't start until you start moving. Those little pink blobs are tumbleweeds. They're just worth extra points. Now, the paired saguaro cacti will spawn aliens. Your object is to destroy all the pairs of saguaro cacti by shooting aliens next to them, which causes them to disappear. Once you do all that in a level, it clears the level. Now, if you shoot an alien next to a single cactus and turn it to a pair, it will turn the cactus into a spawning pair. Okay, so that's level 1 down. You can actually kind of chain together strings of, destroying paired cacti. That'll help you get through levels a lot faster. Makes it a lot safer if you can do that. Spawning cacti. Cacti spawn from left to right and then from up to down, so you can always always predict when the next one's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and clear out these cacti pairs. Danger in this game. You can get overwhelmed with aliens. Okay, you want to be careful not to create another spawning pair. Playing field gets increasingly crowded as you progress. Took out 2 spawning pairs of cacti in one shot. Go boogie. Now it is possible to block off the safe area with cacti by shooting aliens in front of the exits, in which case you won't be able to access it until you clear away at least one entrance. You cannot be trapped inside the safe area. Close off all the areas inside the safe area while you're in it, then it will transport you outside of it. I think it will also penalize you a life for doing that. Alright, day 5. Start out with 10 lives and you get an extra life every time you clear a level, and believe me, you're going to need all those extra lives because this game is pretty hairy pretty fast. I think I can take out these last 3 pairs of saguaro pretty quickly. Clear out some of these aliens. Getting a lot of them on screen at one time. This is getting really hairy here. That's not too good. Clear out all these paired cacti. It's kind of disconcerting as when these aliens leap out of the cacti almost instantaneously, which is what they seem to be doing now. Alright, cleared that level. Playing field's getting really crowded now. Clear out some of these aliens. This is getting really dicey here. Sometimes it helps to get rid of individual cacti after starting to really become a hindrance. Okay. A10. And this playing field is getting really, really crowded. Took out 3 cacti pairs in that little maneuver, and I created another one. Oh well. That wasn't good. All right. Day 11. that one fast enough. This one's going to be kind of... Alright, that went pretty well. Pairs left. Result in no real net gain. Seems like the horizontal pairs of cacti are more likely to insta-spawn aliens than the vertical ones or diagonal ones. Out the level and one neat little maneuver. So much of the playing field I can clear out. To the wire here. Yeah, that's my last life. See how far I can get on it. Alright. So we get one more shot. It's getting kind of hard to get around in this game now. And that ended up being not a net gain. Neither that. No, that wasn't good. Alright, one more pair. Snuck up on me. Alright. Well, that was a pretty good game, and I think we'll stop there. So, anyway, this is a pretty simple game and kind of repetitive, but, you know, it's still a fun game, so. TI-99 4A was the first 16-bit home computer ever made. It was a more successful iteration of the TI-99 4, originally released in 1979, which sold very poorly due to limited software support. And it also had the issue of having to have its own monitor due to radio interference with standard TVs, which was an FCC violation. The TI-99 4A, which attempted to address these concerns, was released in 1981, a combination of selling it at a significant loss to compete with Commodore, and an advertising campaign featuring Bill Cosby eventually helped it to achieve some modest success. Many of its games were homegrown clones of popular arcade games at the time, though Atari eventually did produce official ports of its own games, plus games licensed from Japanese developers like Taito and Namco. TI also had a great deal of support from U.S. toy maker Milton Bradley, which even produced an expansion model for the TI called the MBX. Ultimately, TI could not continue to sustain heavy losses on the TI-99 4A, and it was discontinued in 1984. Nevertheless, it has an interesting library of games. The emulator I'm using is called Classic 99, which comes with the TI's most popular games, and other ROMs can be added. The TI was one of my first computers, and in addition to the games, I spent a lot of time playing around with it in BASIC. I kind of learned a little bit about BASIC programming. I also continued to do BASIC on the Atari 8-bit. Anyway, it was a very formative computer in my early life. Also had a lot of educational software on it. So, all right. Well, I guess that's all I have to say for right now. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.